Perspective, a novel by Pete Howells. Chapter 1. The day I got rid of my sister made me really happy. Happy in a content, relaxed, glad I've finished the job kind of way. When I stabbed Golly up, I was buzzing, just buzzing. I felt like I'd smacked it. I was Jack the Biscuit. But Golly is another story. His exit was my entrance. Abigail was the beginning. I cut her up, slowly and deliberately, into 4 easily disposable pieces. I hacked at her knees, then cut straight into her stomach. I took my time with her neck. She would not be properly dead until I'd sliced through her neck. In fact, I couldn't have taken longer with her neck if I'd tried. I studied her face. Not as an artist would, although as I lay on the green crispness of that early summer lawn, I had to admit there was a photogenic beauty there, a symmetry that's much admired by fashion photographers and lechers alike. Her mousy hair frozen in the lilting breeze, her lipstick-stained lips pouting deliberately, provocative and full of hidden promise. Broken promise and lies. Yes, I studied her face for time. Long enough to make me happy with my work, to make me feel relaxed and glad. I gave a joyful cry unto the Lord and ripped her head from what was left of her body. With her out of the way, my next task was to carefully align the remainder of the photograph. I turned it over and laid the pieces on the grass. It was too spongy, my knee was too curved and uneven, so I placed it on a large flat stone and, with sellotape deftly ripped from the roll, I stuck it with panache. Yes, I knew deft, I knew panache. I had become a man of letters. I turned the image over, and there was me, aged 8, and next to my mother, as content and as natural as a dancing banana. The remains of Abigail I arranged among some scraps of newspaper and a few dry twigs in the rough shape of a teepee. I poured some lighter fuel over the bitch and set fire to the lot. She burned slower than I would have imagined, with greens and blues and a kind of ultraviolet above the yellow flame of the dry paper. Her legs became cancerous, black, and pockmarked, and her face twisted. It was pained, and for the first time that I remember, Abigail wept. I often used to imagine I was back in that little garden. I knew every root of grass, every branch on every tree, the unused special place behind the garage. I was only there in my head, in my deep imaginings, but the photograph was real. The fire was real. The fumes of the fuel and the spicy smell of the funeral flowers was real. It all seemed super real in the cell that had been my home for the last 8 years. My gaff, my pad, my residential place of abode, my Peter, my house, my casa, my drum, my torture, my university study, my life, my all, and my everything was real. My home. My God. The night that your mother has been cremated isn't the best time to consider your own lot. Well, you're too emotionally charged, but maybe that's inevitable. It certainly focuses the mind. I left the remnants of my own little pyre in the centre of my Peter, tacked the amended photograph to the wall by my pillow, and went to sleep on the summer grass of my imaginings. You never get used to waking up in prison. If you let it get to you, you'd get up every day as angry as a baboon's arse. The noise is bad enough. We were given carpet tiles a few years ago, part of a major government initiative to improve conditions. But this does little to reduce the clang, scrape and clunk of door after door, as prisoners are let out for breakfast, roll call, dinner, roll call, tea, association, then perhaps another roll call. In some universities they've adopted the American system where every door is simultaneously released electronically. It's all over with in one go. You'd think we'd be glad to get out of a cell, wouldn't you? Well, there's the dichotomy. Most lags would rather stay in their Peter until they were good and ready to come out. Those in any kind of hurry to start the day are either new inmates or complete head cases. Inmates. There's a term to conjure with. You have no mates inside. You might think you do. Some people build up long-term friendships. We'll be mates forever, they say. We'll see each other through, they say. When I get out, I'll look after your missus, they say. And they invariably do. At least once. If you're an old lag like me, you know you've got no mates inside. You learn to keep your head down, avoid arguments, live inside your head, take every task at a leisurely pace. You never rock the boat, you always treat the cooks with respect, and you don't let waking up get to you. This particular morning was essentially no different to any other. I got up and went about my usual routine, but it wasn't just any other day. It was a Saturday morning, and for the first time since I had been in Lewis, I had a letter in my pocket.